One, two, three, four, five. The hardest part of this was getting the audio to sync up. Hello to all you crazy people out there, and welcome to Disney Heroes, another on the side game. Say another, was this like the second one I've done? Probably the second one. I haven't done too many of these. Not since Dragon Tamers, which I haven't had fun in a mobile game since Dragon Tamers. Like this one has. This one I would probably say is even better than Dragon Tamers. Or at least it is in its current state, because Dragon Tamer has become way too heavily paid to win that I stopped playing it. But this one is a ton of fun. I was looking for the longest for a good mobile game to start playing, and Google kept recommending that I get Disney players and or Disney Heroes. And I was like, I feel like I'm not going to enjoy that. And then, like I say, after so long of just not finding a good game, I decided, why not? I downloaded everything else and tried it out. Might as well try this out. And from the first moment I started playing it, I was like, this is actually pretty good. The graphics are nice. The interactions between the characters are good. You started off with Ralph and Penelope, I think her name is. Yeah, Penelope. And then they also meet up with Elastigirl and Frozone. And like they have such genuine reactions. I think that's like the highlight of this game is the fact that you can see the interactions between all these heroes that you normally would never see because Disney wouldn't ever have them all in the same video, short movie, or whatever. So it's nice to actually see them have like what is essentially genuine reactions. I'm pretty sure Disney is making this game, so you have Disney writers having how each of them would interact with each other, and it's really funny. I get a lot of good genuine chuckles out of this game, and that's not something I've had in the longest while, or probably ever in a mobile game from stories, because usually stories are either so heavy that I stop reading them and just start spam clicking through it, or they're so irrelevant it's like, they're just dry bones. I don't really care. But we're going to talk about this game for a little bit. Similar to how I did with Dragon Tamers, it's going to be mostly a ramble, but I will provide some tips and tricks here and there while I kind of go through everything that you'll pretty much encounter with this game and kind of explain why I feel like everyone should be playing this, or more people should be anyway. I don't know if there are. I'm pretty sure there are different servers because I'm on the server. This one says 25 Space Adventure. I don't know how many servers there are, and I don't think you can even change your server. So once you're on a server, that's pretty much it. So if you do end up playing now, you probably won't be on the same server as I am. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's no way to transfer servers. So, um, but aside from that, there's not too many people here. The strongest people aren't like out of reach. I wouldn't say. Maybe they are. You probably have to spend a good bit of money to catch up to them. I started off at like rank, I think like 10,000 or something like that, somewhere out there. Probably wasn't even ranked. I just noticed that. I think when I no, I think when I bleh, I think when I first started noticing and paying attention to my rankings, I didn't know how to see it. I was in ranking like 30,000 or something. So I'm ranked 378th right now, which is really good, I would say, from where I started from. And that's not me spending a ton of money in this game. That's one of the reasons I play this. Like I hate games that are so heavily monetized. It's like predatory, but this one is actually really good. It doesn't have it to where you need to spend money. It helps if you do, though. But a free to play player can get through and do just fine. I spent money because I always do in every game that I play, every mobile game, just to see how far it can take me. I think the first purchase I made in here was for $10, and that's for the mega deals here. And you get gems on a daily basis, and it lasts for, mine says 15 days left, so I think it was for 30 days, so I got the one for a month. And it doesn't auto renew, which is very nice. So yeah, I have been playing for my sign-in day says 13. I guess it's been a little. I guess my VIP or the daily sign-ins didn't start until day 2. Otherwise, it pay off. So yeah, you can buy stuff like that. Where was I? That was in the. I thought that was in the previous. Where was that? I don't even remember where that was. Wherever that was. It wasn't here. Uh oh. Does anyone remember where I was? Here we are. So, yeah, here. You can also get the cheaper packs. They have one for like $2 and $7.99. Again, you don't have to spend money on this, and it's good if you feel like you really don't want to and you don't have to. It's not predatory, but it will take you a long way. That's what I was trying to really test out. That's what I test out in every mobile game I start off with, just to see how far $5 can take you or $10 can take you. If it looks like it's gonna really help me out, then I say, okay, this isn't too bad. If it looks like it barely put a drop in the bucket, then yeah, that's a game. It's like, nope, I'm probably gonna get out of here because then that means it's pay to win. So this one it has pretty big money value packs, of course, as you would expect, but I wouldn't go for those at all. And again, you don't have to. You can get very far in this game by spending $10 on the same thing that I did for the Mega Daily deals, which I think is just a one-time deal. I don't know if it's always going to be that low. It might always be that price. I'm not sure if that was like a first-time purchase deal or if it's always like that. But I did get that, and it got me to VIP level 3 from just that purchase, which also knocked off all the ads, so I don't have to deal with ads in the game, which is always a plus. I don't know what level that starts to get rid of the ads. I think VIP level 1 gets rid of ads. Yeah, I think just getting VIP level 1 gets you ad skips or no ads in the game, because as long as you support the game, then you don't have to deal with ads. But if you don't spend anything, of course, then it needs to get some monetary revenue from you to stay relevant and keep up the game. So if you want to spend like $2 or $3, I would say go for it. It'll help. And then like level 2, it shows that you can get the video skips, which is also nice, because if you don't get the video skips, then when you have to go to the crates and you want to unlock like gold crates or anything like that, you have to watch an ad to unlock it, or at least you do, I think, for free. Or you can spend money, of course, in the coins here. So I don't know how long I've been rambling off in the beginning. It was like 7 minutes, not too bad. So let's kind of get into the meat of the bones, meat and greedy, whatever that is, whatever the expression is for that. We're going to get into that. So starting off in the game, you'll go into the campaign. You will be forced to do that. So you'll be, like I said, with Ralph and Vanellope. They'll start off on campaign or chapter 1. So you'll be here. After you battle through it for a little bit, you will eventually start unlocking more stuff. The first heroes you get: Vanellope, Ralph, Elastigirl, Frozone, and I forget who else you unlock. Oh yeah, Yax. Yeah, so those are like the first 5 heroes you get. I think after that they start being random, or whoever you happen to unlock next. I think those 5 are going to be the ones that you get right off the bat for free. With Yax being your healer, Elastigirl is your damage, Frozone is your control, Vanellope is also your damage, and Ralph is your tank. I'm trying to find them. I stopped using them, so let's see, Frozone here. So like I said, he's your control. He freezes enemies to stop them from moving and acting. Vanellope is damage, so she just does damage. I don't think she has any controlling skills. And with that mentioned, just because a hero is a control doesn't mean they don't have damage. Just because they're a damage doesn't mean they don't have control, or just because they're tank doesn't mean they don't do any damage. And typically tanks do have some form of control with them because they're a tank. So then the front lines, they have to do something to hinder the enemy team and keep themselves alive. So I guess I could kind of do a quick rundown of heroes and which ones I feel would be best to work on. First off, Bolt, top tier. I'm pretty sure he is the #1 ranked power or DPS hero in this game. He is completely busted. His damage is insane, and I don't know what they were thinking when they made him, but I'm so happy they did, because I was going to use Bolt regardless. He is probably I don't know if he's #1 or #2 favorite Disney character. It's between him and Stitch, so it's very close. But I think I said Bolt was my favorite. I think I ended up saying Bolt. Only reason Stitch is like very close is because I had more time with Stitch. He has like series and movies. So Bolt only has 1 movie, so it's not a lot they can get from him. And the movie itself, a lot of people were like, eh. Like some people liked the movie, some people didn't. It was not like the most spectacular movie. But looking at Bolt's moves, I think the thing that really makes him stand out, apart from the fact that his basic or his super part here does damage to all enemies, so it pretty much has a chance to one-shot the entire team right off the bat. Not like from the get-go of the match, because he has to get energy to use the skill. So it's not like just going into the match, you're just going to get one shot by Bolt. If he gets energy before you, though, then yeah, you're probably going to get one shot. Because it's very hard to survive the skill. I don't see a lot of heroes that live through Super Power. But he also has the jump, which I think knocks enemies back. I don't think it does anything else to it. Oh, it also reduces their armor by 50%. And his super speed, which removes all shields apparently and steals energy. Don't remember the removing shield parts, so shields are pretty useless against Bolt. And Mark of Power is whenever he has more energy, what is it, 500? When he has 500 more energy, then he starts to deal true damage. So, tanks do not like Bolt at all. Like I said, top tier, pretty sure he's number 1. I also like Nick Wilde. I use him because I like Nick Wilde. I don't know if he's like a top tier. He can be, but the problem is he is super, super, super squishy. So you have to protect him if you want to use his skills. But if he's able to get his skills out, he is a pretty devastating damager. But I think that can be said about any damage role. I just like Nick Wilde. One of the things is his Lemming Rush, which is pretty useless in PvP scenarios because a match will only last for usually at the most, I would say 30 seconds. And this one is a charge up skill. So the first time he uses it, he sends out one lemming. After he uses it again, another lemming comes out. And it stacks up to 5 times. So like I said, a match won't last that long for his damage to really ramp up like that. But if it does, then yeah, he's probably going to end up doing more damage than even Bolt. But matches don't typically last that long. And I doubt he would ever survive that long because he is so squishy. But this skill, the Shuriken Pops, actually does a lot of damage. So if he ever triggers that, which I don't know how they choose how they want to trigger the skills, I think it's pretty random. But I think it's an internal cooldown that we can't see. And then whenever a skill is off cooldown, they just use it. So I don't know what the starting cooldown is. I don't know what the cooldown is after he uses it. You won't be able to see any of those numbers. I'm sure there's probably some guys online with people studying that kind of stuff and marking cooldowns. I don't know what it is. But when he uses this, it does a lot of damage. Charming Fox is probably one of the most devastating moves and one of the most adorable moves. But if he uses Charming Fox and he charms one of the enemies, so you can make someone on their team that's doing probably the most damage end up turning on them, which I have only had happen once. It was, I turned the enemy team's Zeus against them. So he's normally a menace to my team because he can stun my entire alliance and then deals damage. So Zeus is the damage front or damage midline, I think. He's a damage midline. So his skill is like a lightning bolt where he hits all enemies and stuns them, which is very painful. So if you don't die from it, then you're just stunned and then the rest of the team cleans you up. But he typically has enough damage to just outright kill you. So it was nice. It was nice when Nick kind of charmed him and turned him against their own team. So this one I don't know what that is. You gain skill power for every alliance left alive. And every time he uses Lemming Rush. So he's a team player. He definitely wants to have the team alive and keep him safe. And as long as he's safe, then he starts to do damage. Stitch here is also really good. He's squishy, but not. I don't think he's not as squishy as Nick. So Stitch does a lot of single target damage. He's single target devastation. Unlike Nick, who does a bit of AoE with his Lemming Rush. His Shuriken is single target, but his Charm is also some bit of control. Stitch doesn't really have much control. He has the 626 Scuffle, which can only be used if he has 50% health, which is hard to trigger because he is a damage backline, so often he gets one shot. But if he is living and the healer doesn't heal him in time, then this skill has a chance to trigger. And that's when he goes and stuns the enemy, steals their armor, steals their HP, and then he just comes back and acts like nothing happened. And apparently does true damage. So Stitch does have potential, but he also is squishy and he's kind of tricky because one of his skills never triggers unless he has 50% HP. I'm not going to talk about every hero, just my favorites here, or the team that I'm using. So Chief Bogo here is probably one of the best tanks in the game. Him and Baloo, I say, are the best ones. I don't know if there's other good tanks, but Chief Bogo, after you unlock him to purple, I think it is. No, it's purple. No, it's the second one. So green. After you get him to green, he charges into battle, and the first enemy he hits is stunned. So that's like right off the bat, you stun an enemy, which is always good. You want to start off with CC. The more CC, the better. And his shield, he triggers a shield. That's his skill here. He just grants himself a shield. But after you get to purple, every time his shield takes damage, he starts to heal himself. So he's a self-sustaining frontline tank. He doesn't need heals, but it's nice to give him heals, of course. I would say he's probably ranked two. He's ranked in the top 3 for tanks for frontline for me anyway. But Baloo here is just a beefy tank. So his job is just to stay alive. He doesn't offer much in forms of utility like Bogo here does, because he stuns and he blinds and he keeps himself shielded that way. But I guess the utility is the stun and the blind. So right off the bat, he runs to the battle, he stuns you, and one of his skills is a flashbang, which blinds all enemies. And blinding in this game is just basic attacks miss. It has no effect on skills. So a skill will still hit you, but basic attacks won't. But Baloo, on the other hand, his swinging party is he uses that. He regains HP over time, and anyone hit him has a chance to be charmed. So that's one of his biggest utility moves. So if he starts to use that and an enemy basic attacks him, then they have a chance to be charmed, and then all of a sudden you have your entire team fighting each other rather than the enemy. So this one I don't see get used too often because he's often always at full health or half health, but it doesn't trigger unless he's at 30% health. So he goes to sleep and he stays asleep until he fully regens his HP. He will not wake up, which is probably why it's a good thing he doesn't trigger it all too often. But the thing is, if the enemy team is only focused on the front line, which is often him, he is not going to die. So he is one of the tankiest tanks in the game for that reason, because all of his skills regen HP. So this one, he boosts his allies' armor and reality. Reality in this game is your magic resistance, essentially. Armor is for your physical resistance. There are 2 types of damage in this game. That's normal and fantastic, and true damage. So technically 3. So true damage ignores everything. It doesn't matter how much armor or reality you have. It's going to inflict that set amount of damage. Normal damage, it goes by your armor, and reality, or fantastic damage, goes by reality. So that's how you resist those. And let's see, the other thing with Baloo. Looks like he also heals his party whenever he uses swinging party, which is this one right here. So he's charming the enemies and he's healing allies and himself. So he's a very good supporting tank, but he doesn't offer much like CC aside from the charm, which may not even trigger if he doesn't get enough energy to do it. Now Sisu here is probably the best. I think she's considered a support. Yeah, she's considered a support, but she also deals a ton of damage. With one skill, I think that's pretty much her only skill that does damage. Well, no, she has 2 damage skills. But Fog Formation actually deals a ton of damage and is fantastic damage. So not a lot of people resist it. But that one deals a heck of a lot of damage. I don't even know what skills or what it does. Apparently it blinds enemies. Yes, and it grants skill power to one of her allies, whoever has the most potential for using it. Waterfalls is a skill. That's her first one. It just grants a shield to all allies, and while it's raining, they start to heal. So that's where her supporting is. And also supporting is the fact that she keeps giving the strongest player on her team extra power to kill everyone else. But she herself also inflicts a lot of damage. So if she is the only one that can take advantage of the stealing, sapping stuff, then she will give it to herself. But oftentimes she'll try to give it to someone else so they can start having extra power. Didn't mean to exit out of that. So Sisu is probably the top tier support. I would say at least top 3, probably number 1. If you can star her up, she probably is the most fatal for, again, that fog formation, because it has a chance to one-shot the entire team. And that's not something that she takes forever to use. She uses it quite frequently. It has a very low CD. So you get hit by it once, she'll then use a shield because she probably KO'd half her team, giving her enough energy to use her shield, and then she's healing everyone and everybody has a shield. And then she uses it again to finish you off. So don't mess with Sisu. I started using Ariel. I unlocked her recently. She actually is a very good healer. I think everything on her heals. So that heals. Every 10 seconds that knocks back, and does it heal? Yep, it heals. And that one gives everybody HP every time she heals them. So Ariel is a pure healer, and that's why I like her. So she is a support backline. She is, by all definitions, a support. She does do damage, I think. Not as much as everyone else, so she isn't reliant on doing damage. Don't expect her to do too much damage, but if she is in a pinch, she can help you out. but that's not her role. Her role is just to heal. That is all she's doing. Rex, I got just for the sake of having him because I thought he was cool. But his main deal is that he can deal extra damage to shields. That's kind of why I got him. So if anyone's shielding up, and I have him in the front, kind of chipping away at the shield. And since he is a tank, then he can stay alive for a good while. He also has a bit of CC, knocking back and silencing. But aside from that, not like a worthwhile tank. So I wouldn't focus too much on him, and just unless you just like me and you like him. Bagheera, on the other hand, I think he's a control. No, he's support. I didn't know he was a support. Bagheera is not a support. He is a tank. So Bagheera here, they have him marked as a support, but he is a very tanky front line. So I guess because of all his skills, they support the team. So that's why they call him support and not tank. But his roar out, every time he uses it, he stealths your entire team. And while your team is stealth, unless there's someone that has precision that can see you, I don't remember what exactly it's called. If they don't have that skill, they aren't going to see you, which means they're attacking Bagheera. And he has a chance to just go back and stealth himself right after that. So then everyone on your team is stealthed, and the enemy team is just looking like, who do we attack? All the while they're taking damage themselves, and they're probably dead by then. So Bagheera's that one skill already puts him at the top. So he's probably number one support. I don't know. Is he better than Sizu? He might be better than Sizu just because of that one skill. So his other things is this is the one that turns him invisible while he's gaining invisibility 8 seconds, and he heals for that amount of HP. This one, he inspires his allies, so all of them gain skill power, additional 100% of their HP. Figure and allies can gain up to additional 200 of their max HP from the skill. So after 2 uses, they gain the next benefit. So if he was invisible, so he was proud before this, he gains damage reduction. I think that was like the thing with all of his stuff. If he's invisible before he uses one of his skills, he gains damage reduction. That's why I say he's a tank. But because his skills are focused on supporting his team, that's why he's considered a support. But don't be confused by that. He is a tank. It will take him forever to die. He is typically the last one to die on the team. And even the thing is, once he's the last one, he doesn't do damage on his own. He is almost no damage. He is all about supporting. So if he's the last one on your team, you can go in and consider it a loss. Because he's not going to hurt anyone. He will probably take forever to die. He might never die. But he's not going to kill anyone. So his fearsome growl here, what is that? Inspires allies. Did we look at that already? Yeah, we did. While invisible, Bagheera and his allies gain 50% damage reduction and heal for 50% of damage. So I think that's everyone, not just him. I don't know. I think that's saying like anyone on the team is invisible, they gain that. Not just if he's invisible, they start to gain this. I'm not sure. The wording on that is a little confusing. So, but Bagheera, very good frontline. He is a support, apparently. I started to use Mushu. It took me forever to unlock him. He's a very, I would say, a late game unlock because you can't get him until like Elite campaign chapter, I think it's like 13 or something. It's pretty far back. But he's also a very good damage backline. And he has a little bit of support with his Gong. It removes debuffs on your team and silences the enemy team, which is very good. And it deals a lot of damage. The fire spit, he just rapidly spits fire at one enemy and he keeps doing it pretty much until they're dead, but he will eventually stop. But I think every time you use it on someone, unless they resist it or they're invincible, he kills them. This one, he casts a shadow, silencing them, and they take more damage, so fantastic damage anyway. And he deals fantastic damage, unlike Bolt, who deals normal damage. Did I mention that Bolt deals normal damage? I think Nick Wild's damage is mixed. I think he does normal and fantastic. Yeah, I think Nick does both. Bolt only does, he has fantastic crit for some reason, but I'm pretty sure he does only normal and true. But Nick does normal and fantastic, I think. I think that because I know there are certain enemies in the game that resist completely one type of damage, that resist either normal or fantastic. So some skills do damage and other skills don't. And I think the ones that resist basic attacks, they get taken down by Lemming Rush. And the ones that resist Lemming Rush get taken down by like his Shuriken Pop and his basic attacks. So I think those are the mixed parts of that. But other skills for Mushu, we did Intimidating Shadow. he deals extra damage to silence enemies. So Mushu is purely a DPS that has one supporting skill, and that's Ring the Gong. So he can support his teams by getting rid of some debuffs. I wouldn't rely on it too much though. If he's killing people though, then yeah, he's going to keep using Bang the Gong, so he can remove all the debuffs on your team. But Ariel does the same thing with her song, because she cleanses your entire team. So that removes all the debuffs. So you can have a team. The one thing you gotta focus on this game, I guess I'll take a break from talking about all my favorite heroes. One of the things you have to focus on this game is trying to build a team, of course, that harmonizes with each other. My team, I have a team that kind of just focuses on keeping Bolt alive, I think. So I use Maximus, Bogo, Bolt, Sizu, and Ka. So Bolt is my main source of damage. If he dies, then Sizu takes over. If she dies, then Ka takes over. Actually, I think it goes more Maximus. So it's probably Bolt, Sizu, Maximus, and Ka. Ka does damage, and so does Maximus. Bogo does not. So Bogo is the last resort. If he's alive, he can stay alive and try to chip away at him, but his role isn't at all damage. He does not do damage at all. So Maximus is probably the third biggest damage dealer. He might be second. Sizu only does damage with Fog Breath. Maximus is pretty much always doing damage. So we'll talk about Maximus in a second, which is next. So Maximus. Sword Swat. That one is a supporting skill and damage skill. He draws out a blade and deals a ton of damage to whoever he stabs with it. And let's see, for 10 seconds and studying enemies. So he also studies all the enemies, which is nice, which makes all normal damage crit. And it inspires allies, I thought. Increasing his allies' basic damage by, that amount for 10 seconds. So yeah, it deals damage and increases allies' basic attack damage. So he is a normal tank support. By that I mean you want to use him with teams that deal normal damage, rather than trying to pair him with someone that deals fantastic damage. Because his follow your nose skill, he starts the combat by studying the enemy that deals the most amount of damage, I think. Yeah, whoever does the most amount of basic damage, he studies them, so then they take more damage, so you can kill them faster. Which is why I pair him with Stitch and Bolt, because both of them focus on normal damage, so Maximus is a great frontline for them. And Maximus stays alive, he's dealing damage himself, so he's the perfect support for anyone that deals normal damage. His Apple attack, he heals himself and he spits out a core, dealing damage to whoever he's focusing on. Horse Kick, he counters every so often, so he dodges an attack and counters back. So that's why he deals damage and he stays alive. So he's a tanky, so I guess you can consider him more of a bruiser. So he is kind of tanky, but not as tanky as other tanks. And I think he's considered a tank. Yeah, he's considered a tank. So he is tanky, but not like a pure tank. He is more of a bruiser tank. So he will stay alive for a good long while, but don't expect him, like I wouldn't use him as the only frontline tank. Because if he gets focused down, he will die. And that brings us to Ka here, who a lot of people use. He is a very good controlling fighter, and he deals a bit of damage. Not like a substantial amount. He mostly focuses on the controlling aspect of it. But let's see. Let's look at his skills. Coil, slam the closest target, closest enemy from above, dealing damage. There's snare for snare and attack speed reduced. What does snare do? Snare means that the movement speed reduced to 0. You can build base attack rather than range. So snare just keeps you from moving. If you're out of attack range, that means you aren't doing anything. And Ka pretty much stays in the back. He doesn't have to move because he is so long. So he can keep hitting you from all the way in the back while you're trying to run up to him, but you can't because you're snared. He also, I think, has a charm in there with hypnosis. So yeah, he charms enemies. This one, he picks the closest enemy with his tail, constrict them, dealing normal damage, knocking them back, and leaving them snared. And while Ka snares an enemy, he reduces their max HP by 10%, up to 50%. So he can reduce your HP. The thing about Ka, the reason everybody loves him, because he keeps knocking people back. And he can snare them, making them unable to move forward. So you want to put him with people that have very good range and want to keep your teams back. I used to pair him with the Underminer until I thought about him like that actually contradicts so hard, because the Underminer pulls people forward. He sucks them in with his vacuum and then punches them back. But then that punches them back into their normal basic attack range, not further back. So he's constantly pulling the team that you just sent backwards into attacking range, pretty much making Ka irrelevant. So I did end up unpairing. But yeah, that's some things you just have to look at. You want to harmonize your team properly. because the Underminer and the Ka do not get along at all. Didn't see that. We'll deal with that later. But that, for anyone that's going to try to pause the video and see what that was just someone. I'm trying to get some artwork done, and they sent me a work in progress. So it looks good. And he's asking if anything needs to change. I don't think so. So, anywho, back to this. So the Underminer, he is a frontline bruiser. One of his skills, I think you unlock at purple. When he dies, he instead just comes back with full HP and then starts to continue like nothing happened. His jackhammer, I don't know what that does. Sending shockwaves or enemy shockwaves knocks enemies back. Disorients them. I don't know what disorienting does. Doesn't say anything. I guess it just kind of interrupts any kind of skills they were using. So, but the Underminer is a very good frontline. He was solid when I first unlocked him, but now he's to the point where I never use him anymore. So it looks like he's also mixed damage. He does fantastic and normal damage. I didn't notice that. So he's good for mixed damage. But if you want someone that's like trying to keep the team from being kited, then Underminer's good for you because of this vacuum, so you can keep pulling people in. If you're constantly someone that's getting knocked back, or there's someone that keeps running away from you. Ian here, I like him. When I unlocked him, he was actually my highest damage dealer before I got Bolt. So Suzu was always with him, supporting him. So every time she used her skills to sap from the enemy team, she would give it to Ian here. And his Voltor was the biggest damage dealer. So it would do thunder damage to everyone. Let me see. It knocks them back and it deals damage. And he casts it for 2 seconds longer every time he uses it. So if he just keeps using his skill, it's going to keep knocking the enemy team back. Of course, with that said, he pairs really well with Ka. I think Ian doesn't have to move up too far to keep using his skills. He can stay all the way in the back and use them, just like Ka can. I don't think Sisu has to move up either. I know Ariel doesn't move up, so she's on a rock, so she's pretty much stuck in place. I know Bolt is in like the middle, so he has to move up to attack. Nick has to move up to attack. Mushu has to move up to attack. Of course, Bakira is a frontline, so he has to move up to attack. Same with Blue. Anyone that's a tank has to move up to attack typically. So, Mickey Mouse. I recently unlocked him. He is all about supporting. He has no damage. Do not expect him to do damage. If you're trying to have him as a damage user, you're going to be out of luck. He deals essentially no damage. I don't even know if any of his skills do damage. They do not. So Mickey deals 0 damage. He is all about supporting. He increases damage with cheer up. He can inspire allies, giving them energy. He heals one ally. He isn't like a mass healer. He just does that. But his tune-up will heal over time for everyone. So after you unlock him to purple, he'll be able to at least heal everyone over time. But aside from that, he's just a, I would say, inspiration support. I use him for the boosted damage because he boosts damage for everyone. And it's not a set like normal damage or fantastic damage. It's all damage. So that's why I use him, and that's why I raised him up. Timon and Pumbaa. I think they're a support. Yeah, they're a support. So I got them because I like Hakuna Matata. So every time they walk in for the start of the battle, we grant all your teammates Hakuna Matata bonuses, which heals them over time and grants them armor and magic resist. Well, reality for this one. I think that's what it is. Is it armor? Nope, just armor. So it doesn't do anything for magic resist. So he's good for physical people. So you want to use him if you're going against someone that deals mostly normal damage. Aside from that, they knock people back with the run. He does that one, dealing fantastic damage. And Hakuna Matata, after you unlock him to purple, grants immunity to crits. So that's nice. So a crit, immunity, and armor buff. So yeah, he's very good for normal support. If you're finding yourself having to fight normal people, this is something you just have to read up with all your people. So that was all of my gold or orange trait heroes here. We're not going to go through every single one of them, but I will briefly talk about people that I say have potential. I don't think he has potential. I think he's he's a support. He cleanses, weaker, granter, so he's a support. I started to use him, but after a while I just stopped. Pleakley. Pleakley here, I got him pretty early. He was my highest damage dealer when I got him because his mosquitoes stack and he essentially detonates them, but the more mosquitoes you have stacked on someone, when he uses his skill to attack you with the swarm of mosquitoes. If you have too many on you, then it's pretty much an execution. It's not an execution, but like it just deals more damage the more mosquitoes you have stacked on you. So Beast here, I started to raise him up. I got him recently. He has an ability that keeps him alive, and he goes berserk. So for 10 seconds, he cannot die, and he constantly attacks you. So if he's the last one against your last one, he's probably going to win. I started to raise the queen because she has an execution attack. Her, I think it's the Majesty Orders. If you have, what is it? No, that's not it. It's off with your heads. Here it is. Every 4 attacks, she sends out cards. And if you are below 20% HP, she executes you outright. So even if you are invincible, like I just talked about with the Beast, even if you're invincible, if you're going against the Queen, it's off with your head. It doesn't matter. So I tried to raise her up to see if I can use her. I haven't used her yet, and I probably won't. But she will be a good pocket pick. So for this game, you'll need at least 3 teams. So you'll want to raise up 15 heroes for at least your main team. And then I recommend having pocket picks. So you'll want to have people that you can kind of switch in and out. I start to raise Jumbo Chiquiba here because he has the ability to see stealth at people. So stealth is irrelevant to him. If you start the stealth and he just pulls out binoculars, studies you, and then he's going to start hitting you. And he deals increased damage to people that are stealth. I think he's considered a control. Yeah, he's considered a control. I don't know what all of his stuff does. And I see that I have a lot of skill points that I need to spend, so we're going to do that right quick. Let's see. Who do I want to do it to? I guess we'll do it to here. So your skills are up here at the top right. You can spend gems to reset it, but I would just wait. For me, it's pretty much every hour is filled up. So I just wait and log in every hour and use my skill points. So that's one thing I'll talk about kind of after I'm done with the heroes, which I'm almost done. So you can look through. I start to raise it. Oh yeah. Raya. Probably number 2 in damage. Pretty sure she's number 2. If Bolt is number 1, then this girl is number 2. So she deals a hecking ton of damage, but we will talk about more in a second. I'm going to get back to her. You hold that thought. So other people I started to raise up just because I like them. I like Simba and Nala here, so I want to raise them up. I will try to use them. I tried to use him. He dies way too fast. So he's supposed to be a control. He constantly knocks people back and slows them. So you can pair him like with Ka or anyone that wants to keep their distance. But he is so squishy that he dies instantaneously. She just came out. That's the only reason she's as high as she is. Because I'm doing an event and it gives me stuff for her. So, but as far as me using her, no, I don't plan on ever using her. Lilo, she was one of my first frontline people. She's not a tank, but she is a tank. So she's a control. She, what does she do? I know she can distract people. She distracts them and then she dodges all the attacks. She can deal fantastic damage. So if she ever uses this skill, she pretty much one-shots everyone. But the problem was she would typically either die before that or your team would kill them before she ever uses it herself. So yeah, I paired her with Stitch, of course. She does a lot of good damage. And she stays alive for a while. Mulan can deal a good bit of damage. The Linguini and Remy here are good supports. Ron does a hecking ton of damage. I see him using Arena a lot. This guy I kind of want to use. He's a support. I think he's considered a control. Yeah, he's considered a control. But he blinds people. You have other people here. Yeah, I want to start using Angel here because she has charms and heals and support. So I think, yeah, if she ever dies, she revives herself. If one of her teammates dies, she can revive them. This only triggers once, I think. And when she revives herself, she charms whoever. I think, who did she charm? Yeah, she only uses that skill once. When she reaches 0, she charms the enemy that damaged her last. So whoever killed her, she charms them. So if it was a damaged person, congratulations. Your damage now going to kill your rest of your team. I want to use him too because he seems fun. He's focused on heavy CC, so he constantly freezes people. And I think at a certain point he executes people. Or he just deals increased damage to whoever's frozen. I think if they're already frozen, he just deals increased damage. So I see people use Russell and Kevin a lot. He's a very good support. I think he is. Is he a support? Yeah, he's support. He's a frontline support. He boosts damage, heals, and yeah, classic support stuff. I think that's pretty much it for people that are worth using. I see some people use others. I guess it's just at this point it's just whoever you like to use. I see people use almost every hero here. I see people use Mr. Hawkins here, and I see people use Pocahontas. I've also seen people use Sad. She's actually very tanky. I think she's a tank. Where is Sad? I think she's blue, isn't she? So she should get enough. No, I never raised Sad. I thought for sure I raised Sad. Where is she? I know she's not gold. I don't even know. Good lord. Now I feel bad because she's always talking about how everybody misses her and ignores her. Now I can't even find her. I thought I raised her a little bit. There she is. She's at the bottom. So yeah, she's a tank. So she offers support utility tankiness. Speaking of ignored tanks, I did try to use Eeyore. I think he can be a very good frontline tank. The problem is, for the longest I only had him at 1 star. I recently got him 2 stars. But without him having the star boost, he doesn't stay alive long enough to be a tank. He gets 1 shot. So I know he saps energy. He heals himself. Yeah, that's pretty much his stick. He saps energy. I guess he's trying to sap the happiness out of you. And he heals and shields himself. So that's his thing, is staying alive and keeping people from using their skills. So I think that's enough in Hero Talk. We spent like 30 minutes talking about heroes. So that's going to be the first half of our video. We had a successful arena defense. That's cool. So I guess we can briefly talk about arena. You come here, you'll basically want to be in the top, I think top 5 per promotion. Yeah. So try to get in the top 5. I'm typically number 1 in every bracket. Not bragging, it's just there are multiple brackets. So you can always try to get top 1. And because I think I spent a little bit of money, not too much. I think I spent like $30 on this game total so far. When I first started, I only spent $10 and I was still getting ranked 1. So like money takes you pretty far in this game. I'm not saying, again, not saying spend money, but if you do, you don't have to spend a lot. Be happy, content with $10, $20 at the most. And I just spent a little extra money because I wanted to get some extra stuff. I know I was running out of gold. So the resources that you'll want in this game the most is gold and stamina. As long as you have gold and stamina, you can breeze through this game. That's pretty much the only thing you'll ever run out of. Skill points, you can wait on those. Like I said, it takes me an hour to get mine full again. So after that, I just log in every hour, use my skill points, and just log back out if I don't have anything to do. So we talked about arena, same thing with Coliseum. I think the top 5, so it just reset. I guess we can do a battle here. We haven't done anything to kind of show off. So this is where I say you're going to need 3 teams. So I don't think I can take out number 1. I might be able to take out number 2, and I'm pretty sure I can take out number 3. So we'll start with number 3. So I already have my teams kind of divided. I got Raya here, Baloo, Bolt, Ka, and Sizu for the first team. So Raya stuns, Baloo distracts, Bolt deals a ton of damage, Sizu helps with shielding, and Ka keeps him in the back. So Sizu stays alive and Ka stays alive. Second team, Bogo, Rex, Ariel, Mushu, and Nick. So Nick and Mushu are my damage dealers. Rex and Bogo stay alive in the front, and Ariel keeps everyone alive and not CC to death. Third team, Mickey, Stitch, Violet, Ka, and Bagheera and Maximus. So Mickey boosts everyone damage. Violet is support, so she shields everyone. Maximus is also our damage, and Bagheera steals everyone so they don't die. I probably should have had someone else in here. I don't really like Violet. She's good supporting now, so we'll go with this. Let's see how we do. Yeah, like I said, Bolt pretty much one-shots when he gets his skill active. You see Chief Bogo running in. He stunned Maui, and that just killed him. Someone killed him. I don't know who killed him. Nick used his Lemming Rush. You see 1 Lemming. Oh dear. Someone on their team just one-shot. Somehow we're still alive. Well, good thing for Rex. So at this point, I think it's Ariel that's doing all the damage. And the fact that she's anchored on a rock so she can't move, which means the Underminer's skills are pretty much useless against her. He can only target Rex. And as long as Ariel keeps healing him, he's not going to die. So then the Underminer can only focus on Rex. So now the Underminer is using his second skill. Now he's going to be in front of Ariel. Oh dear. Like I said, Ariel can do damage, but that's not her role. That's not her gang. And we lost. Ah, man. Someone on the team one-shot me. Who was that? I guess it was the Underminer. I guess the Underminer used the explosive mine and that just nuked everyone. So I think I need shields on that team. I need a support that can shield everyone. It doesn't matter if they have a healer if they all get one shot. So we'll have to modify our second team. This team has shields. I know the third team has shields too with Violet. So I need a team. I need to create a team that can shield them. For some reason I have Eeyore instead of Rex in there. I don't think I have another shielder. Yeah, I don't have any other shielders. I'm gonna have to look through some supports and find a good shielder. So that was the taste of combat there. What else do we need to do? This game is starting to be a little predatory with its pop-ups. I was going to say one of the things I love about this that it didn't pop up like buy stuff every 5 minutes like another game that I played. The game that I played before this, and I don't remember what it was. It had pop-ups so often. It kept saying spend money, spend money, spend money. Like, okay, I'm annoyed. You have beautiful graphics and nice characters, but the story is bland. You have way too much story text. I had to just spam click through it. And even that still takes like 2 minutes to get through all this text. And just the fact that it was so heavily monetized, it's like I didn't care anymore. So we talked about Arena, we talked about Coliseum. Let's talk about, I guess we can talk about the market right quick. So the market is where you come to buy a couple stuff. Gold is a non-issue for me, so I just buy everything that costs gold, even if I don't need it. So with the badges, that's what you'll use to level up your heroes. Even if you don't need the badge, you can at least use it for enchantment. So I guess we can briefly talk about that in a second. Arena Shop is where you get your Arena exclusive hero chips. Surge Shop, Surge exclusive chips. I try to get blue here. I spent 2 of them, so that's I only had like 1,000 Surge chips. Are pretty hard to get, at least for now. I guess late game it'll be a little easier. City Watch, you have your city exclusive chips. The only thing I buy here though are the heist tickets, so I haven't really bought any of the hero chips. None of them I use. Coliseum Shop, I've used my Coliseum coins on the Coliseum crate. I haven't bought any here, so I did have at least 3,000 coins from the Coliseum. Memory Market, I buy memory chips every so often. I bought one for Stitch. And I don't really buy the ones for gems, because I try to save my gems. Challenge Shop, I haven't used these yet. You see your challenge exclusive heroes. And Heist Shop, same thing. I haven't really bought anything here yet. The Badge Bazzer, you don't have to be stingy with this one. You get coins from Invasion for this. So you can just buy up all the chips because you constantly get more Badger coin currency. And that's it for the currency. So I guess I did, when I talked about heroes, I didn't really talk about upgrading. So when you're upgrading a hero, you have to install these, they call them chips, I think. Pretty sure they're called chips. So let me find someone that's missing a chip. Yep. So if he's missing a chip, you would go through campaign. You would have to battle through, collect your chips. I can just raid them. I think, yeah, when you get your VIP, you can just max raid or raid by 10. I think it's the max you can get without VIP, which isn't a problem. It just means you have to keep clicking max raid, which isn't very time consuming. It's an ease. It's just a nice little perk, VIP perk. That's literally all it is. It's not game breaking, which again, why I love it. So I would just max rate this. It gives all the stuff. I typically skip by pressing the X at the bottom, and it shows me how many I got. And we unlock the black market, so that's a market that you have to play through campaigns to have a chance to unlock. This is a really good buy. So we got Stitch for gold coins. Very good buy. Definitely want that. I don't know if that's worth it. I guess we'll buy that. I'll typically buy things from the black market with gems. Mm, let's see. I guess so. It's only 5, so we'll get that. And I always refresh the black market shop because that only comes once per day. I might be talking too soft. So the black market shop only comes once per day. So definitely refresh that by what you think you'll need or what you can. Oops, didn't mean to exit, but I can look at that again later. So, oh yeah, thanks to the black market shop, we got enough to craft. So we craft that, and now we equip that. Beauty. So you notice that some of them have the blue lights on the bottom, and this one I just got the black lights. That's from enchantment. So you come down here to enchantment, and I have a VIP perk for auto add. If you don't have auto add, then you just got to go down here. You have to manually hold and keep adding it to however many levels there are. For this one, there's 5 levels, so you have to do it that many times. But I have auto add, so I can just do that, and it does it all for me. Again, nice VIP perk. So I enhance that. You see, you got your bonus stats in the blue, so you get that for all of your chips. This is something you'll definitely need to kind of focus on later. Definitely don't worry about it too much early, because every time you promote your hero, this resets. You lose all your badges, and all the enchantments for it are you stockpile some of it, like so you get part of the benefits of it, and those are turned into chips that you can use to enhance your next one, but it's not like a full refund. So that's why I'm leaving them here. You see that I have the ability to promote them, but I'm not promoting them, because if I promote them, then I lose power. So unless I am able to like just get all their badges back and then enhance them all again, that's one thing. When you get late game, that's something you have to think about, and that's something I only found out like a day or two ago. So at that point, you just want to wait and not promote them until you're able to fully badge them up again, because badges are level locked, so you can't always equip every badge until they are a certain level. For the next level, Orange 3, I think the highest level badge will require you to be level, I think it's 110. Mm, It might be 110. I'm not entirely sure. You can see the levels down here going up. That's the level required just to promote them. It's not saying like what the badge level requirement is. So the orange has the highest amount of levels in it. So there's 8 orange levels, and then you finally get red. And I think red is the last one. Yep, red is the last one. I know there's yellow. There's only 3 levels in yellow. So there are yellow levels. Didn't know that. So yellow is the highest. I thought red was the highest. The red is so hard to get to. Once you get to red, that's when you unlock your final skill, and that's where everybody starts to really be OP. With that said, I was looking through some red skills. It is apparent that the harmonized teams that I have now will be reorganized when they start unlocking red, because then their skills change completely. So then I have to redo how I do my teams. But aside from that, so we talked about that. Talked about the market. So let's talk about trial. So this is where you can help get badges at. This is a very good place to come and do your badge shops or badge quests. No reason not to. And another thing that I like about this game, something I'll mention now, there is so forgiving. There's hardly any penalties for trying stuff out. So I'm at strenuous. I'm going to try unbeatable because I'm not sure if I can win that. But if I lose it, there's no penalty for it. I just try again. I don't lose energy. My heroes don't take like some kind of armor damage or whatever. It's just you just lost. Okay, so you can't do that. Go down a level. Try again. Can you win it? Great. So once you get VIP, you're able to raid these. I think the VIP I got now is 6. So I just unlocked 6, which allows me to max raid it. It used to be I had to raid it 1 by 1, and I had a cooldown of 10 minutes. So when you're first starting out, you have 10 minutes cooldown. You have to come back to the trials every 10 minutes to do it. But VIP 6 kills that cooldown, and you're able to max raid it. So we're going to try unbeatable and see how well I do on that. Even if you don't 3-star it, which is the only way you can rate it, if you can at least beat it, just keep doing it. So you see Bagheera stealth everybody, then he stealths himself. So I have it in fast motion. We'll slow it down, so you can actually see all the stuff going on. And just because they're invisible, they still do take damage. They just can't be focused. So if you have someone that does AoE, then invisibility doesn't do too much. And Mr. Incredible takes forever to die. I don't know why. He doesn't have anything that makes him invincible. He's just soaking up a ton of damage. Oh. I was hoping we wouldn't get anyone KO'd. I hate Incredible that he takes her forever to die. But since I didn't 3-star it, that means I can't raid it. So, but I can do it again. So, I'll do that later, and I really need to get a shielder. No one here shields, though. I could try Angel. She would probably replace Ka. And I would have Stitch and Angel. And she won't die in one wave, so... Or one wave, I said rave. So we'll try again, but I need to raise up Angel more. We'll do that. But, yeah. So that's how that works. So I could go down a level and raid it, or I could stay here. The badges are cumulative, so every time you go up, you still get the badges from the previous level plus new badges. So there's no reason to try and stay, or no reason not to go above and beyond. So just keep going as high as you can and try to win it. If you can win it, great. Like I say, if you don't 3-star it, it just means that you have to do it the normal way. You can't raid it, but if you can raid it, then do that. But if you can at least get a 1-star consistently without struggling in it being a fluke, just keep doing that. It only takes a couple seconds for you to do it at like the speed up version, because I slowed it down for everyone to see how it looks. But the other trials, of course, you can see they unlock at different days. Sunday, all of them unlock, so you can do all of them, which is the best time to do it. Missions, this comes from friendship, so that's one of the fun things about this game, is that everyone has friends and they interact with each other. Let me move that out of the way. So Bolt here is friends with the cop and the cat, so it's hard because his stuff is so high level, so I can't even touch it. And the thing that perks with the friendship is it unlocks your, I forget what they're called here, disc. They unlock disc. So once you're friends with somebody, you complete the first episode of their friend campaign, you unlock the disc for them, which boosts their powers further. So I'm trying to get it for Bolt, but because these are all red and I can't touch them, so I can't even do anything with that. That's with both of them, so they're red. Other people have their disc unlocked, so Stitch has his unlocked with Maui, and I finished his, so his is done. Him, I think he can do his. Let me see. Yeah, he can do his. It's purple, so that's easy enough. So I guess Mr. Credible would be the DPS for that one, and Belgo is going to be the tank. So yeah, that's how that works. And you can also see the wall of text here. You can see their interactions with it. So Yax and Bagheera, because Yax is a naturalist in the, what is it called, Zootopia Kingdom. Bagheera doesn't wear clothes either, so Yax is like, oh, you must be a naturalist too. And he's like, oh, what now? So it's like stuff like this. It's just so funny how they interact with each other. I think Mushu was friends with, I thought he was friends with Sisu. I guess Sisu was friends with him. So yeah, Sisu is friends with Mushu. And I can't touch that either, because that's red. That's also red. So I think like the newer heroes, all of their stuff is red, which is not at all helpful. Let me see. Yep. So I guess the newer the hero, the higher difficulty it is for them to unlock stuff. The older ones all have their stuff pretty much at a low ranking here, so that's blue. That's easy to do. But your friend stamina is the stuff up here. I have 42 out of 60, so it regenerates pretty slowly. So I would only focus on the people that I actually care about. You can also see it all here. You can go to campaign, go to the bottom, go to friends, list all your campaigns. So you can see there's a lot of them I can't touch. Oh wait, I have pretty much all the campaigns unlocked. I can't use the scroll bar, I just scroll normally. So, but yeah, once you do that, you can do missions for your stuff. So you don't have to do campaigns, you just do missions. Because I have all my campaigns maxed, I can't do anything with that. Where is that? That is missions. So I use it to where I get more of these disc power so I can level up my disc. You can do it to where you get more power to level up the actual disc. So like with him, for bolts, I have this one doing it every so often, so I get more disc to level up bolts thing whenever I finally get it. But the problem is it costs, for this one, it costs one of your friendships, so it costs Clouser chips, one every time I get a thing for it, which is fine with me because I don't plan on ever using him, so I don't care. And I can buy his stuff from the market anyway. Where's his stuff at? Clouser can be bought. There it is. So he uses high shop chips, so I can buy 5 of him, and I'm getting 1 a day. I don't know how often I'm getting high chips though. Surge, that's something for your guild. I don't really participate in it. Don't tell my guild that. I used to. This is like the 3rd or 4th guild I've joined, so I used to do them. And I will probably start doing them because it was already completed. That's why I wasn't really doing it. I see that this one is pretty barren, so only one person's done anything so far. So I can actually go in and actually participate. And there's 2 of them done. So I can actually go and participate, and I will do that later. We will save invasion for later. The port, this is where you come to get either EXP or gold. So can I do preposterous? I wonder if I could do never been done. Who is on here? Oh, also something to keep in mind, they have different immunities. So for the EXP, they have fantastic immunity, and warehouse for the gold, they have normal immunity. So for this one, that means I don't want to use anyone that deals magic damage. So this is all physical people. I should probably use Nick instead of Stitch. And I'll stick with Stitch. So we'll do this. We'll see how we do. Never been done. I am already dying. I have died. Good lord. You see how I'm talking about with Bolt? Bolt just going ham. He might die though. Nope, he lived. Well, you see my point. Bolt busted. Completely busted. Doing all the damage. Who killed us though? I don't know who killed us, but yeah, we can't do that one. So we'll have to go down a rank if we want to just raid, which I do. What's the difference in that? Where did it go? So we gain just a little more. It's only a few more EXP differences, so we'll try this one. Let's see if we're able to raid this. The answer to that is no. Blue died quickly for some reason. It usually takes forever to die. So now Bolt is just going through and one-shotting everything, though. We lost another front line. So we can't even raid that one. But that's all. You only get 2 of those a day, and there's no way to reset it, so. City Watch. This is also something for your guild. I am on the hard. You can't do epic unless you have someone in red, so hard is the highest you can get. I just reset and raid because I'm too lazy to actually do it. I've already done it once and I'm not doing it again. But if you're trying to do like quest points for, let's say, this contest here, you will have to do it manually because it doesn't count. But since I don't care, I'll reset and raid, be done with it for the day. You can only do this once a day. There's no way to reset it. So, heist. This is probably the most fun thing in the game, to me anyway. With someone doing very hard. But we're on super hard, so we'll wait on that. I don't know if I'll be able to show that on video. I could just do a very hard. They lost one. They don't know what they're doing. You're supposed to guard the gems here. No one is guarding a gem, so this team doesn't know what they're doing. So yeah, we're not going to join that. So yeah, the thing about the heist, I just have to talk about why they're here doing this. So you guard the gems. You want to keep the thief from taking all the gems. If she takes all the gems, you lose. So you want to have one hero sitting on each of the gems. If you have at least 2 people, that means everyone is sitting on the gem and no one's moving around. But on very hard and super hard, that's fine because the thief is so active. So you'll eventually get this up, the clues, to isolate where she is, and then you can go and find her hideout and win the game. I think very hard and super hard, you have to find her. Or I think it starts at hard. So hard and up, you have to find the thief if you want to be able to win. But from easy to normal, you can beat the thief 10 times or 20 times for, I think, normal. Or is it hard? It might be hard. Medium. So medium, the thief has 10 lives, and hard, she has 5 lives, I think. So, or I mean, easy, she has 5 lives. So you can beat her those number of times and you win it, or you can just find a hideout and win instantly. But from hard and up, you have to find a hideout because her lives are infinite. So we'll do super hard later. Like I said, they probably won't be on video though, so you just have to try this out for yourself. I'm not going to show. I guess I shouldn't be showing off everything anyway because that spoils all the surprises. But what else we got to talk about? Challenges. I don't really know how these work. I know you got the gem to get them, and I haven't been doing that, so I haven't really looked too much into challenges. Sorry. So I can't really tell you too much about it. And that just leaves the final thing. So the final thing we're going to talk about here is invasion. This is a guild thing. You come here every so often, do a quick doodad. I can't show the beginning because it's already been going on for a couple days now. Easy peasy. But that's just taking out one of the bodyguards. So that's not the main guy. The main guy here is Poop. Yes. At a certain point, you'll have to take out the bodyguards first because they offer buffs and debuffs. And that's pretty much going to make it impossible for you to take out the big guy. But if I have enough energy, Raya and Bolt can just go through in one shot. If they don't have the energy, then they can't do it. Let me see if we can do it. So Bolt and Raya need energy, but I gave invincibility so they won't die for the first 10 seconds. You see they're taking damage, but they won't die. You lost Mickey, but that's fine. So yeah. And there's no point in retrying attacks. As long as you beat it, you get it. So let me go ahead and heal Mickey. So the thing about that is you doing the breaker quest to get more breaker shields, and that's how you fight the big guys here. So you could do that the one time damage 3 shields you can do for 5 times the damage, which you want to use if you can't do enough damage in one. Then of course do 3 for the extra damage. So I got to a point where I had to do 3 shields because I wasn't doing enough damage. But this guy here, the yellow one, that's a guild boss. They pop up every time one is defeated, or if the time runs out, they reset. So anyone in your guild can attack these, and they are super tough. They have, this one shows 132 billion HP. But now, normally I would go through 3 times the damage and try to do it that way. Let me see. Where's Maximus? Maximus. There you are, buddy. And Stitch. So this is just me showing it. I'm going to use every single buff that I have just to kind of show you how tough these things are. So for the first 10 seconds, no one can die. So when it hits 50 seconds, then all bets are off and you're going to see them start dropping like flies. Oh, they live for an extra 20 seconds. Bolt is down. Maximus is down. I'm surprised they're living this long in all honesty. Stitch is down. The Underminer did die, but he revived himself. So see, after all that, we only did 6.2 billion damage, with Bolt, of course, dealing the most because he's completely busted. So that's how hard these things are. Now let me show you a trick. You saw I did the 3 times damage, right? Now I'm going to do 1 times damage. Why would I do that, you ask? Because there's a trick to this. Bolt, Sizu, Mickey, Raya. Let me say that again. Raya. Raya. You need Raya. You don't actually need Sizu. So let me put him in here. So, and I only need one thing. Invincibility. One thing. Now watch this. Hold on. Raya, what did you do? It didn't work this time. They can fix it. They can fix it. That's not something you can fix. Hold on. 1. Heal everyone up again. Bolt. Let me put Sizu in. You, Raya, and Simba. Only need invincibility. We'll also put slow in there because I have a lot of those. We don't really need it, but this should work. There it is. Okay, there it is. They died though. I guess he does too much damage for me to just one-shot it. I used to be able to one-shot it. You're probably asking what the heck just happened. Where did all this damage come from? Raya. So you're probably saying, wait, hold on. So isn't Raya more busted than Bolt? No. So here's the thing. It took me forever to figure out what the heck was going on. I did this last night, and I was like, what the heck just happened? I just used Raya just for this, just for the fun of it. I wasn't really expecting her to bring much to the table. I need more revives. My shop needs to refresh because I'm out of heals. I don't want to gem heals. That's just dumb. But I kind of have to, so that was my fault. So let me heal everyone back. So here's the thing that's going on. As soon as I put all of them back in there. Probably should use Timon too. Nah, it doesn't matter. Oh wait, I was supposed to add Stitch. That's what I'm missing. Where's Stitch? There you are. So, one thing you notice, all of these, they have one thing in common. They deal normal damage. Actually, the miner deals mixed damage. I probably shouldn't even be using him. But they all deal normal damage. So, there's one skill on Raya that makes her extremely devastating to this one particular boss. I already said she was one of the top tier players, but that's because of her whip. Her whip in PvP stuns everyone and it deals a ton of damage. So even if you live, she stuns you, and she probably killed half your team, so then she'll stun you again. Same with Bolt. However, he just one-shots people, and if he doesn't, then you kill half your team, he'll bark again and one-shot you anyway. Or two-shot you at that point. But her high jump kick. This is the thing that is killing the boss. Because it applies a pierce, and they take 5% of their max HP as true damage every time they take normal damage. So you start to see what happened now. Every time she uses the kick and pierces him, he's suddenly taking 5% of his damage every time he's hit by a normal attack. So I have all these people hitting him with normal attacks. He's dealing 5% damage or 5% HP, so he only needs 20 hits. So Bolt is hitting him. This Simba and Nala are hitting him. Stitch is supposed to have been in him, which is the only reason he lived because I forgot to put Stitch in there. So all of them are hitting him and just dealing a massive amount of damage. So then he dies. So that's why the only thing I need is invincibility. So we're gonna try this again. Bolt deals. Oh yeah, that's the reason why I say it's not her dealing in the 92,000 damage or 92 billion damage, which is what confused me. I thought she was the one dealing all the damage, and I kept experimenting with it. And I found out no, it's not her dealing the damage, her enabling it. But the game registers it as her dealing the damage because it's her skill that caused it. So she's the one that triggers it, but she's not the one dealing all the damage. It's probably still Bolt that's dealing the majority of the damage. But because it's Raya's skill that triggers it again, it's racking it up under her and saying that she's the one dealing 92 billion damage. But you need Raya and you need everyone else that can deal normal damage. So then you go in, you need invincibility because otherwise Raya will get one shot. So watch now. I have Stitch in it this time so we can actually do it. If she doesn't kick one of the minions. If she kicks a minion, then it's over. And she kicked the minion, so we're in trouble. There we go. So she kicked them. There we go. So there we go. So yeah, so you see all the damage racks up into her. Even though she's probably not the one throwing it. I'm pretty sure it's Bolt. And to a lesser extent Stitch because its gun shoots multiple times. So then you start to get all this, and that's how you rank up pretty fast. So I was just doing a bunch of those. I was just doing, like, there's no reason not to. I need to go to the shop again. I need more invincibilities. So I'll buy some more invincibilities. I'm hoping this stuff resets soon. So do that. Get your invincibility. Go in, have fun. Watch them work the magic. You need someone with AoE because if Raya kicks a minion, then that's no good. So she kicked the minion again. So she has to kick him. Otherwise they die. She kicked him. Good. So there's a shred. Can we kill him in time? We did not. His pierce is done. Raya has to kick him again. Nope. Raya didn't kick him again. So yeah, it's iffy. Raya has to kick him or else. What is this? Someone else is attacking the boss. Wait, someone else is hitting him? Oh, I've never seen anyone else hit him. I've just been spamming them because I was like, well, they're all here, so. And I could just one-shot him anyway. Because it doesn't matter how tough he gets. All I have to do is wait for Raya to kick him. Then they have to hit him 20 times and he dies. So it doesn't matter how much HP each boss gets. They all do the same thing. So I could do that for all of them. Let's get Raya back. Let's get Stitch back. I guess we'll ignore Simba and Nala. We'll do this. So we'll have to wait to revive them. So same thing, even on my own boss. So I can do my own boss here. We'll put Sizu in here because I need some more AoE. And let's put Stitch in there. So Sizu does fantastic damage, but I'm putting her in here because we need AoE. Because Raya keeps on hitting the minions. We're not doing enough AoE. But there we go. Yeah, Sizu is good supporting because she takes out all of the guards, so Raya can hit just the boss. And at this point, we should be able to kill it without Raya's brokenness. So yeah, there we go. Easy. Someone hit it. I don't know what they did, though. I wish I could see the damage charts. Weird you can't see the damage charts. But yeah, I can't do it anymore because I need more revives. Which, oh, they just came back. Oh, it just refreshed. Fantastic. So we can revive more. Buy all of these revives. There's not really much point in saving the coins. The only thing you can use for is the invasion shop. So just use it for that. How much is that? 2,500? Might as well. Just get all these. So I don't really need anything else. So we'll go through and finish off this guy. Get Raya back. Might as well heal you just because. So we need Sizu. And we have everyone that we need. Get Raya in there. Let's boost up some power. This is what will really help you out. It doesn't matter how stronger or how busted your little thing is here, like I keep doing. And hopefully Disney won't patch this out because I am doing it. And I'm showing you with the internet, so, you know. Do it now while you can. But this, the plus adds power to all your people of that ranking. So I'm doing it for the +1 in the red. So everyone that's in the red team gets a +1. Otherwise, you can focus on them specifically and give them a +5. Which isn't exclusive to red teams. So you can give it to anyone. They don't have to be on a red team. So you see like some of them show up with nothing because they aren't part of the red team. So every time I +1 on the red, they aren't getting anything. And I'm not just going to plus all of it because there might be someone like Bolt that pops up and I want to give it to him. So I'll +1 on him and it gives him +5. Same thing with the Underminer or Simba and Nala here. So I don't know who I want to do. Let's give it to the Underminer, I guess. Definitely need to give it to Riot. Absolutely. More +1s. For this one, we'll do Simba and Nala, I guess. We don't really need to worry about Ian. He deals fantastic damage, that's why I don't care about him. Give it to the Miner. Don't care about anyone here. Don't care about anyone here. Bolt, of course. Always give it to Bolt. Bolt and Raya are your bread and butter for this, which I only discovered last night. I'm kind of sad. I wish I had been discovered this. I could have probably been ranked 1. So, again, invincibility. We'll go ahead and do slow so he can stop spamming minions. We could use other stuff. Like, I'm doing it. I didn't do it just to show up, just to prove a point. So, you only need invincibility if you have Raya and some normal hitters. But we're going to do this just to play it safe because I was running out of HP regens. So all I do is wait for her to kick. Kick, and he's dead. I still can't see the damage chart, so I don't know who else hit. So we're going to do it again. Use all the stuff. You have to have invincibility. I really need to buy some more invincibilities. Kicked him, and there he goes, dropping like a book. We have to kick him again. Didn't kick him. Oh no. We aren't going to kill him. Can you retreat? Oh. Wait. But that cancels all your damage, so that's pointless. What's the point in that? Hold on, I'm confused. So you lose a shield and you lose all the damage that you did to it. Then there's no point to it. Anywho, I'm going to do 3 times damage. And you lose all the stuff you used. There was no point. Eh. Oh, wait. No, it's still there. And I wasted the 3 times shield. Well, now we know. Don't do what I just did. So, that should be another rank up. Yep. So, yeah, if you have Raya and some normal tech, you can just keep doing the big guild boss here. I haven't even been worrying about my own boss because the guild boss gives me more. So why would I do the smaller boss when I could do the big boss? So that's invasion. And you see I have a lot more energy because every time you defeat a boss, you get energy. So I'll have to go through and start to use all that. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. We still have to do heists, but there's no one doing it. And if I try to make my own, it's going to take forever for someone to join. So that's why I'd say you have to see it for yourself. Heist is really fun. It's my favorite one to do here. The only reason invasion, I'm starting to do that now because I figured out how to get all the damage in. So I'm rank 2 now because of it. We'll be able to get rank 1 soon. So our guild is going down in rank. We need more people in our guild participating. Which, like I said, this is like the 4th or 5th guild I've joined. Which, speaking of which, funny thing to end off on. The last guild I was in, they were one of the more active ones. They were ranked 20. But no one was ever talking in the guild, so people would join and then leave, despite the fact they were active and building the guild up, or at least I think the leader was. But no one ever socialized, so I don't care about socializing. I join a guild, I will never say anything, and that's completely fine with me. But I know a lot of people join it and they expect social activity. So if you have people joining the guild and never say anything, they're like, well, even if they are building the guild, no one's talking. There's no friendliness. There's no, like, I'm not getting any family values, or what do you want to say? Like, that's what the point of a guild is. So if you join a guild and there's no one talking, like, I don't feel like I belong here, so then you leave. And I kept noticing I was there for like 2 or 3 days and people kept joining and leaving. Like, okay, so I said one thing. I was in that guild for like the 2 or 3 days. Never said a word. And I said one thing. I said, should probably start promoting some social interactions. Word per word, that's exactly what I said. And 5 seconds later, I was kicked from the guild. I was like, what the actual heck? I said one thing out of the 3 days I've been in this guild. Promote some social activity so that people can stop leaving and we can build the guild. And they kicked me. I was like, okay, guess I'm never saying anything ever again. So then I joined another guild. I saw they weren't too active either, so then I joined this guild. Or I think this is the guild I joined after. I don't know if this is the guild I joined after or if I joined another guild after that. I do know that after I was kicked from the guild, though, one of the higher up guilds was actually had some free space, so I then ended up joining them. because you can see all the guilds here. So you can see how they are always typically filled. The top guilds are filled. So then I couldn't join it, but someone left this guild that I'm in now. So then I joined that one, and we're ranked number 7 now. Huh, we went up. I think this one, wasn't it 16? I think this was number 16. No, I was in Knockout, number 20. So I left that guild because they weren't really doing anything. So then I joined this one, Generation X. So then I think this one bumped up though. I think it was like number 10 or something. It wasn't number 7. But yeah, so I'm actually happy they kicked me because I actually joined a more powerful guild after that. So joke's on them. I was trying to help them out, and then they kicked me for no reason. I'm pretty sure the leader did. Again, don't know why. I said one thing the entire while I was in that guild. One thing, and they kicked me out. I was like, okay. So that's my fun story. I tried to create my own guild because the first guild I joined in, I realized it was inactive as frick. Because no one ever really said anything. No one was really doing anything. There was like a few people that would say, hey, can we please get some help doing this? Like, the guild needs to grow and do some stuff. But the leader was almost never online. And even when they did jump on, they didn't do anything. Because you have to upgrade your guild. It's in the guild perks. So these are all things that have to be upgraded. But I think only the leader can upgrade it. And our guild had no upgrades. We were stuck at max upgrade points, but the upgrade points were never being used. So we had like 100, I think it was 100,000 was the max for that level. So after you level up, you accumulate more. So this one has like the million is the max points. And I think after you use the points, they go down again. So it's like currency, but you can only hold so much currency. And ours had the maximum currency and was never used, never touched. The leader did jack of all. So I was like, okay, so I see this guild is actually not doing anything. I didn't know that. I was there for like 4 days in that guild. So I was just trying to figure out the game. So at that point, I was like, I think for the first 2 days, I wasn't sure if I wanted to still play this game, despite the fact that I spent $10 on the pack. And after that, I was like, I actually do want to play this. So I started to try to contribute and help out. And I noticed, like I said, the guild wasn't doing anything. I was like, oh, I guess I should join another guild. So that's when I joined the other guild. And that's the one that kicked me out when I noticed that people kept leaving. And I said one thing. So fun stuff. But that's going to be pretty much it for this episode. I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. Everything else, if I didn't talk about it, you have to kind of just go and explore, see for yourself. So I gave you tips and tricks. So Raya, Bolt, people like that, Ariel, those are all people that are worth getting. Bagheera, of course. Do I have max skill points again? Nope. 5 more minutes and it'll be max. So yeah, go in, have fun, explore, do what you want. You don't have to get the strongest heroes. You can pretty much use any hero. That's another thing I love about this game. Every hero is useful in some way. You can use any hero you like and raise them up and they will be useful. It's not like just get one hero and you have to have this hero. Aside from probably Bolt. Bolt is pretty much a must-have. So if you want to be top player, I guess you kind of have to have Bolt. I was getting him regardless. I didn't know how busted he was until I got him and I found out, oh, he's actually really strong. But I was getting him anyway, so but there are counters to him. CC is his counter. So if you see Bolt is someone that you have a hard time against, you need some CC. So you can get someone like maybe even Eeyore, sap his energy so he can never use his super part. You get someone like Ka that CCs him so he can never get in range to use anything. Or get someone like Raya even that stuns him. Because I've had my Bolt lose a lot to Raya. So if she goes in and stuns him, that's it. Get someone like Beast. He's invincible, so if he uses his skill first, it doesn't matter if Bolt uses his super part. Beast will just go in and just start smacking him in the face. So it doesn't matter. Like, there are heroes that can counter other heroes. There is no one true good heroes. There's heroes that are really stand above all the other ones. So, like, if you have them, you have an edge, but there are heroes that counter other heroes. So it doesn't matter who you get. If you like them enough, use them. Don't worry about saying, oh, this isn't a top tier. I don't see other people using them. It doesn't matter. Like, every hero is useful in their own right. You just have to know how to formulate a team and harmonize them so that they can work well together. And then you can win in pretty much all scenarios. But you will at least need pocket picks, like I mentioned at the start. So you'll want your 3 main teams because you need at least 3 for the Coliseum. So 15 heroes, and then you'll want a couple pocket picks. So like I said, like Jumba, for instance, he's good against stealth people. So you can use him against Bagheera. There's someone else that doesn't care about stealth. So if you're invisible, they're like, I'm still gonna hit you anyway. There are a few people like that. Jumba is the one that stood out because he was the first one I saw that did it. It might be Syndrome. I don't remember. Someone else here can go through stealth though. So you just have to kind of look through, read through all the skills. I haven't. I read through half of them and then I stopped. Like I only got all these heroes like 3 days ago because I bought a pack, a gold crate pack that gave me like 100. They call them diamond crates. So I bought a pack that gave me 100 diamond crates, which is why mine is at max. But it only cost me like $10, I think. So that's why I got. I was like, that's a very good buy for 100 diamond crates, so I can unlock a ton of heroes. I said, sure, why not? Sign me up. So I did that, and that's how I got all these unlocked, which is why I have almost all of them unlocked at this point. But before that, I was actually able to have all of them relatively at the same level, which is why so many of them are purples and gold or orange, because I was leveling all of them up evenly. And at that point, I was actually running out of gold because their skills kept getting in the way. So, and then I started to buy gold, and I was like, okay, so now I just wait on some more skill points. So I have to wait on that to recharge. And then, like, stamina wasn't really an issue. I didn't have anything to use stamina on. Like I said, I only had a few people. So all of them were at the same ranking, and I just had to wait. And then I bought that diamond crate, and all of a sudden I had more heroes than I could raise. So that's why so many of them are white now. I can't touch them because I keep running out of stamina. And while we have this, I might as well raise up Angel because I'll keep forgetting. So, VIP perk, you can power promote. I don't know what level that unlocks. It might be VIP 3. It's either 2 or 3. But you can power promote, and it helps a lot. It just saves you from promoting one by one by one. So, now we got Angel here. I really want to use her, like I said, her charm and her revives are really going to be good. I think she's a support. No, she's a controller. Yeah, she's a controller. So I'll be using her at some point. But again, that's all for now. So again, I highly recommend this game. This is free sponsorship for Disney. I know they can't ask for more on that. So play this game. It's a ton of fun. Don't spend money if you don't want to. If you do, please don't spend a ton of money. Don't be a whale. We don't want anyone to get the idea of like I can get the whales in this game and everybody start heavily monetizing the game. It's been out since 2000 and I think 2008. It's been out for a minute. I really wish I was here from the beginning, but I love it now, so it's probably better that I wasn't. Then I probably get burnt out and not care. I don't know why this is starting to pop up now. It never did before. But thank you everybody for watching. I hope you all enjoy. Please give this game a try. And if you do, let me know how much you enjoyed it down in the comments below. But thank you everybody for watching. And I will catch you all in the next video whenever that is. Take care.